Before they were Nandi, they were Chemwalin, and their name might trace back to the camel, yes, the desert beast. But that's just the beginning. In the shadowed highlands of Kenya's Rift Valley, among whispering trees and the cool mist of dawn, lies a history that most have never heard. A story wrapped in sun worship, war, deception, and a name that may not have belonged to its people at all. Before the mid-19th century, the people now known as the Nandi didn't call themselves that. They were Chemwalin, or Chemwalek, a name lost in the fog of oral tradition, never inked with certainty, never confirmed with clarity. Others called them Kemengal, a name curiously linked to Ngal, the Turkana word for camel. Camel people? In the lush green hills of Nandi County? It's more than a linguistic twist. Some early colonial thinkers dared suggest that the name hinted at a link with camel-riding Muslims, and more specifically, the adoption of circumcision from them. A cultural exchange, a rite passed through ancient desert winds, or just another colonial fantasy. Whatever the truth, the name Nandi itself didn't take root until after violent ruptures in the mid-1800s, after the crushing of the Uasin Gishu and the expulsion of Arab and Swahili traders. Some say the name came from the Manandi, a Kiswahili word for the voracious cormorant bird. If so, the Nandi became named for their ferocity, their appetite for war. And war they knew well. To the Nandi, the sun was more than light. It was Asis, their supreme being. They greeted it every dawn and dusk, whispering prayers as it stretched golden fingers across their land. Beneath sacred trees, elders gathered after harvests, offering white sheep and reading omens in curled intestines. The earth itself seemed to breathe with spirits, ancestors, and divine warnings. Their most powerful figure was not a king, but the orkoiyot, a medicine man, yes, but more than that. A prophet, a general, a national compass. The last and most legendary of them, Koitalel Arap Samoei, led a supernatural resistance against British railway expansion, only to be treacherously gunned down under a white flag by Richard Meinertzhagen. A seer murdered, a people betrayed, a war silenced by a bullet, and a name. Every 7.5 years, a sacred rhythm pulsed through the Nandi. Circumcision time. Boys wore girls' clothes, girls dressed like boys. This ritual inversion wasn't just symbolic, it was spiritual disarmament, a breaking of the self before a rebirth. Then, steel met skin. Pain became passage. Boys went into seclusion with grass masks. Girls donned leather hoods. In those hidden months, they were no longer children. They emerged not just with new names, but new destinies. Their bonds were permanent. Boys circumcised together entered the same ibinda, age set, a militant brotherhood that would one day take over defense of the land. These age sets cycled like seasons, marking time in a society without clocks. Today, female circumcision is banned, and rightfully so. But in the silence of outlawed blades, the echoes of a once unshakable culture linger. Some communities now replace the rite with teachings, dances, and blessings, passing wisdom without pain. What does it mean when your name is not your own? When your fiercest warrior dies by betrayal, not battle? When the ritual of your coming of age is now forbidden by law? To be Nandi is to carry a legacy full of riddles, sacred sun, stolen names, camel shadows, and war chants that once shook the hills. But here lies the true enigma. A people once feared by Arab traders, led by prophets, guided by the sky, now fighting a quieter war against erasure. So next time someone asks who the Nandi are, don't just speak of a tribe in Kenya. Speak of the Chemwalin, the Kemengal, the cormorant-hearted warriors, the sun worshippers, the dreamers under sacred trees, the ones who dressed as their opposites to find their true selves. Because to know their story is to realize how much history lies in a name, and how much identity can vanish when no one's left to remember it.